So the ISL intentionally, when scheduling games and everything, first game they intentionally fixes that the first game is against Bengaluru. If we score a goal, if we score one goal in the first 10 minutes, we're gonna win. Believe me, let's go for that. But again, thanks to you guys, you made so many things like with turnovers. Even the boys speaking after the game saying like, fuck, the fans, they pushed us, so it was awesome. But the after the game moment, when you win that final whistle and everything, it is a moment of releasing huge emotion and power, like a volcano, erupting. So it's kind of
Christmas.
2-0 sold out. That was awesome. That was nice game. When we sit down there in the dressing room and we hear you guys like echo, and you're trembling, like it pumps your blood in your vein. That's adrenaline that you want as a football player.
On your first season, it's like everyone was very doubtful about the Indian midfield, the pivot roles.
Yeah, I think we were the only team having Indian midfield.
Everyone had a big doubt on that.
Yeah, yet we arrived to the finals.
But they proved wrong.
You know why? Because we had so many transformations in, let's say, these shifting things in the midfield, where many times there was like Luna coming backs coming in the midfield, Putea going high, or Jigson, and they were recognizing that very well. What we were doing on the training sessions, which also again for us the coaching staff was perfect.
It's like it's a tiring also for the players. For like if we press this much hard,
Football is a physical job.
No, I'm
so
asking like
they have to run.
We need a squad like. Even if any of the players injured, we need to have a player with the same qualities. He has to substitute and come up.
But you know why also? We wanted that season and later on as well, especially playing at home. We wanted to have that high pressure. First of all, to be honest, so we are coming to play in front of our crowd.
Yeah.
So you name it, how many thousands of people come to watch the game. So then our obligation is to show something special, something more. So if you're gonna come and see the team doing all over and over again simple, boring things like just waiting, moving, sitting, without giving that power or of excitement, nobody. My idea was always, and the team talks with the players were always, guys, I don't know. Maybe you saw it in the dressing room. This, we put a 22 hours. They're like, these people are coming and investing time and money to come and watch you.
Yeah.
We have obligation to give something more, something special than our opponents every time. So here we are not here to play boring football. Here we are not to play nothing. We have to be special, especially here at home. And I was telling players and with management, of course, we knew when we go to sign a player. These players, they must be aware that playing for Kerala Blasters, it's not simple. It's something special. You must carry that weight on your shoulders because there are expectations. And we want that because with that adrenaline, with our team talks, when we sit down there in the dressing room and we hear you guys like, echo, and you're trembling, like it pumps your blood in your vein. That's adrenaline that you want as a football player. So when we go out, we want to press. We want to sprint because I want these people tonight when they go back home, sitting, I don't know, in a car, in a bus, in a train. I want them to, talk about it. I want them to be happy, to go when they go and drink a beer in the bar or whatever, to talk about that game. Even now you mentioned the game against Goa. Nice memories. You come back home, you talk to your wife, you talk to your family, come back late, you wake up, everybody, wow, we witnessed. That's the feeling we wanted to create. Because we didn't want to have this boring, so we want to press. So here we practice and we train your players that you are capable of pressing. When you are done, you cannot, you show me, we're going to change you. There is nothing wrong in that. We're going to bring somebody else. So
on your channel, we were beast in home.
Yeah.
We hardly loses matches in
I remember a couple of times. Where like we concede stupid goal in the beginning and it's like everything you prepared. That's the worst thing for one coach. So you work during the week, you prepare something for a game, and there is a plan. There is everything. So, and before the game, you repeat that in the dressing room and the team talks, and then after 5 minutes, you concede the stupid goal. So everything falls down. Like everything, like that's done. Everything you were preparing for a week, done, finished. You can throw it away. So then from the bench, you have to reorganize certain things. Like in 20, 30 seconds, you have to take decision, talk to your assistants or, on the bench and say, okay, we go for that. So then there were a couple of times where when we were switching certain things and giving some instructions that I was feeling, and I felt a couple of times just like, okay, that's the moment, because when we changed that, there was the reaction from the fans, like, and then you just feel, okay, now it will be a turnover, because the energy shifts in the standings around the players. They feel that they got extra charge and they go for it. And sometimes I was like, okay, this is it. This is what we needed. Now we're gonna for. And even if it was like in the first half, then the most important is the team talk in the halftime, where actually we do certain things. We go out for a second half and it's like a bomb. So, and that's what we wanted. This kind of effect creating, especially in home games, where that's what we want to be as a Kerala Blasters, because the people coming to watch the game deserve that, to see that.
How it would be the halftime talk like? It would be a furious.
I think you should ask players about it more than me. It changes.
Yeah, depends on the situation.
It's different always, because players, they never knew how we're gonna react or what will happen. Because sometimes, from a mental side, there are players that you always have to talk to on a easy way. During the week, you have to sit down with them. You have to touch their shoulders. You have to talk them easy and everything in order to get him ready for the game, for a weekend. There are players that during the week, in a couple of occasions, you have to provoke with a certain approach and certain things, because he needs that in order to perform good for the weekend. But as a coach, your job is to recognize that. Because preparing a training session for us, it's like 10%, 20% of a job. Training session, that's easy. So mental preparation, people management, starting every day when you wake up and 50-something people come, okay, boss, what we're going to do? You have technical stuff, you have medical stuff, you have players, you have people around, you have press conferences, all these things where you have to prepare the team for the weekend, and then knowing already on Tuesday how you're going to play on Saturday, working with the players physically, tactically, technically, mentally, in order to prep them up for the upcoming weekend. That's where the coaches make difference, and for us it was always in a certain circumstances entering the dressing room, because if you need to create a shock effect, then you go for one approach. It was happening that we come into the dressing room, we are 1-0 down, whatever, saying, boys, no problem. We just continue doing that. You take care about this. We do this, we do that. No problem. We go for it. We make a turnover. Sometimes it was happening like we enter, you just say, okay, everybody sits down, shut up. Nobody talks for 2 minutes, take a rest. And I was asking even a couple, like medical stuff, you guys go out, we don't need you. So everybody feels like, okay, something's wrong now. So then you want to create certain things, and then you act in the way you act, whether you have to break something or to do something that players get that attention, because they have to go back in the focus. You go back for the second half. In 10 minutes, you score 2 goals.
The game against Goa, for the 4-2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. On halftime, it like 2-0. We are trailing.
Yeah, 2-0 down, and we won 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the moments where actually we had to create a little bit of organized chaos.
The 4 goals after the halftime.
Yeah. And immediately I remember telling them, we have to continue to doing this. And I told them, if we score a goal, if we score 1 goal in the first 10 minutes, we're going to win. Believe me, let's go for that. Yeah. So, and after all the instructions, everything, I think the first goal we scored from a free kick.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was like after 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. Like that,
something. And I think that we scored last 3 goals in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we knew that Goa was coming after one difficult game, that we were beat them on a physical level. And I was just saying, guys, keep pressing, keep doing that. And I remember even before we started scoring those throw goals, we input in, I think, Azar and Ayman, fresh legs, pressing, and all these things. I don't remember if Fedor was playing from the beginning or came from the bench. I don't remember that.
He came from the bench.
Because he scored the fourth goal.
He scored this fourth goal.
And there was a penalty situation where the guy, I think somebody...
He scored
He scored the fourth one, but there was a penalty that Dimi scored that somebody played with the hand in front of him. So we wanted to input that power and pressure even more. And I think that in the second half, Goa was completely destroyed, like physically, that they couldn't...
Even they were like dead after the first goal.
Yeah. I remember even after that, Noah was saying, like, you know what, at one point, like after 10 minutes, the second half, we were dead. We couldn't walk anymore. Because Kochi has also special atmosphere, thanks to you guys, because when you create that, echo, everybody shits his pants.
That was one of the best matches as a fan for me.
And then
in the stands also.
Yeah. And then with the pressure that you input with the weather conditions, with the humidity and everything, sometimes it's very difficult for the opponents to come and play here, really. And we always want to use those things because you can ask players. I was always saying one quote like, small details make difference. These small details, and then the boys, they were delivering that perfectly. They were so happy after that. Then how you gain confidence? Then the boys, as a player, because I know that feeling as an ex-player, you sit down in the dressing room and you say, okay, so this guy, he was telling us to do that. So then you believe the coach and you believe the things that you're doing, and it delivers results. So it was nice moments, really nice moments. And I wanted, like you say now, you still remember that.
Yeah.
We wanted to have that effect that people remember those things and enjoy those moments. Actually, that's something that attracts you to come back to the stadium.
Yeah. Even if we lose, we have to experience that moments actually.
But you can again ask players. I was always telling them, if we go onto that pitch and we give everything we can, so you tackle 1,000 times, you help your teammate, you do anything you can, so you sacrifice yourself till the last drop of your sweat, and if we lose, there is nothing wrong in that. You go, you shake hands, and you say, okay, you were better today, I'll see you next time. And then you have that feeling when you come back home, you brush your teeth in front of your mirror, and you see yourself and you say, I did everything today. There is nothing wrong in that. You go and sleep normally. But if you don't do everything, if you try to calculate and you lose, and you have that shit feeling like of regret, and it stays till the end of your life. And I said, we want to avoid it. So we give everything, especially at home, because in front of those fans, there is no calculation. You give your everything. If you're done, you show me, I'm going to change you. No problem. So with this kind of feelings and mentality, we wanted to build up our team.
As a fan, one of my favorite moments, like your re-entry to the Odisha match
after suspension. Yeah.
That was one of the best
that was emotional
atmosphere.
For me as well, that was really emotional, especially after suspension and after everything what was happening and all the...
Have you imagined this kind of a reception you get in the stands? That tifo and all the
Never.
things? No?
Never. Believe me, never. I was never... So my experience, first we knew that, okay, it's sold out. It will be full house. And then for us it was more, again, because there were so many things in the media around that. And about that in the previous period. And for us, the most important thing was how to prepare mentally the team for the game. Because physically we were okay, tactically there was no problem. So we wanted just to prepare the team mentally to be ready for any kind of, to avoid that, not to read things in the media, just like be concentrate on your, knowing that it will be emotional. I remember like, okay, because the feeling when you are in the dressing room, you hear everything, because you hear that the people, there is echo, there is like chanting, there is like players. When we arrive at the stadium, I let them be. Everybody has his own preparation, whatever they do with the prayers, with the, they have music. It's up to them. So the moment they go for the warming up, they come back. Their last 3-4 minutes where actually you prep them up, you tell them last advices, depending, because you get the list of the lineups. Then you can say, okay, boys, so we press them here, we do this, we do that. And then going out. So these, I'm telling you, my favorite moments of every game in Kochi were that moment where I leave the dressing room and when I go that 20-30 meters and then around the corner in the tunnel, and then when I'm in that tunnel going out and I see the pitch, that moment is something priceless that it will stay till the end of my life, because you are entering the echo of power, sound, crowd, like noise, and that emotion, because adrenaline is there, pumping your blood in your veins. And I was not expecting that. I was going out, and then I saw that, and I had like in my throat, like, but then you have to stay strong for the players, for everything, of course. And then again, like a roller coaster, like, the destiny, whatever it is, we concede the stupid goal. There is a penalty. Sachin gets it, saves it. And after 2 minutes, 2 minutes after that, everything changed. We got one chance with, I don't know who it was, Daisu or... and then it was like, okay, there is a click. We're going to win this game. And then in the dressing room. So that kind of emotional part is something special. For even players after the game, when I was talking to Luna, and he was like, boss, fucking hell, So I said, but these are the things that you want in your life, this kind of emotion playing for this club.
And also your celebration with the fans, the pumping
the fist
celebration.
pump, the famous fist pump.
You mean when we scored the second goal or after the games?
after the game.
When you prepare the game during the week, especially with the players, there must be a certain approach where you have to show them that everything's under control.
Yeah.
There is no place for panic. There is no place for doubts. Okay, we are calm. We control the situation and we know what we're doing. But the after the game moment, when you win that final whistle and everything, it is a moment of releasing huge emotion and power, like a volcano, erupting. So it's kind of, it's done. You won the point, you won the game. And then being then with the fans, it's something like, it's huge emotion and eruption, And again, I grew up with that environment, because in my hometown and also in my club where I used to play in the Red Star in Serbia, back then we had a capacity of 85,000 people. And every time was like, you want to be there, and that crowd. This is kind of, it's your DNA, it's in your veins. And when you have this emotion, you want to be part of it. So for me, it was, priceless. Thank you guys for all those moments. So really,
It's like when the schedule came as a fan club, we just looked which one is the 10th match of yours.
You mean after the suspension?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were planning like which was the 10th match.
Yeah.
We were looking for the 10th match, the first one. And we talked like at that time, like, this has to be the best one we have to prepare.
I remember fighting. So after suspension, so there is a new season coming.
Yeah.
We went for a pre-season in Dubai again, and I remember having contact with the people from ISL and Federation, because we were still like, okay, my suspension, does it count with the... Because first there was a Super Cup after the season.
Yeah.
And then the Federation was doubting, should they count those 3 games of Super Cup or not? And then I remember talking to some of them, like, kind of putting the pressure, like, but it has to be count, because, it's official games, blah, blah, blah. And they said, okay, we will count those 3 games. And then we were starting with the Duran Cup.
Yeah.
And then we said, okay, we go there, no problem. Like, even we will be playing with the average team, we go there at least we can get 3 of Super Cup, 3 of Duran Cup. Okay, even we wanted to qualify in those cups to get more games of the sheet. But then when it arrived, like first 3 games suspension, I think, and the most important, most funny part. So the ISL intentionally, when scheduling games and everything, in order to avoid all the additional necessary drama. So first game, they intentionally fix is that the first game is against Bengaluru
Okay.
at home. You remember?
Yeah.
So because they wanted to avoid any kind of drama and problems, saying, okay, it's better to have this game first because if coach is there, it can cause more problems. Okay, so I was like, yeah, okay. So every time, like,
But we were there and we created a hell for them.
exactly. So, by the way, I was there as well.
Yeah.
So these guys from Federation, they don't know how many holes and doors this stadium has. So even I was not supposed to be in dressing room. So you can be there, no problem.
Yeah.
So the fact is that even in whenever a federation organizes, like for example, or a Duran Cup or a Super Cup, they always fix those groups because they want to create the hype. They always fix and say, okay, now we're gonna intentionally put Blasters and Bengaluru in the same
First
group,
match,
or we put intentionally East Bengal and Mohun
Mohun in the
Bagan,
same group,
because they want to create it, and then they fix and they organize everything that they go to the finals because they want to create those hypes. And for us, it was like, yeah, okay. Then we went through those 3 games of 3 additional games of suspension, and then the game against Odisha was like eruption of everything. But even though, thanks to you, we won against Bengaluru first.
Yeah.
Then
we had a very famous away match against Mumbai in
yeah, I was there. I remember the big fight.
Yeah.
The big fight and the red cards, and actually then you created hell for them in
Kochi.
the return game for the Christmas Eve. Yeah. 2-0 sold out. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a nice game.
That was one of the best matches.
Yeah. They didn't have like I think a single.
No.
Maybe
Even the sound was distorting at some points.
at one, I must admit. Listen, so couple of times during couple of games, as coach, you want to give instructions. You want to say something to your players, and then I'm there shouting, trying to call somebody, and they cannot hear me. And I was like, I was just like looking at you, thinking like, 5 seconds, like just 5 seconds, give me. And then I had to call, for example, Leshko or who was closest to me, I don't know, Sandeep or okay, go there and tell him to tell him, like So because of that noise, which is awesome. But people who have never been into that stadium with that atmosphere, they cannot understand. And even my brother, I remember, or my family watching the games, everything, they were like, but how the hell you guys manage? How the hell you're like no communication? You just stay there and wait for the halftime. Because sometimes, and with the way we wanted to play, there were so many things like happening that actually, even if you want to interact and say certain things, many other things happen that you say, what's the point now? So just let them play. But again, thanks to you guys, you made so many things like with turnovers. Even the boys speaking after the game saying like, fuck, the fans, they pushed us. So it was awesome. Great thanks to you.